David, welcome to the Flawless Growth Podcast. I'm super excited to have you here.
Well, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to it.
Perfect. Okay, David, for those who may not know your story, can you share a little bit more on how you got started first into fitness, and then what led you to invent the BOSU Balance Trainer?
Yeah. So I love sports my whole life, and I spent a large part of my high school and college training for football and track.
Nice.
So exercise and training was always a large part of my life. And then at the end of college, I decided to not go work on Wall Street, where I had interned the summer before, and I said I'm going to be an actor. So I had to. I moved to New York City, and I had to personal train to make money so I could support the acting pursuit. And I fell in love with rollerblades in New York City, and I literally did not walk for 6 years. All I did was skate because it was so easy. It was so easy to skate. And what ended up happening is my feet became exceptionally weak, and I dropped my motorcycle one day and wrenched my back picking it up. And because my feet were so weak, my body was like, it's like stepping on a Lego. Like the tension goes up, and now you're stuck. And since it hurt, my lower back was like stuck for more than a year. And then I found that large inflatable exercise ball, and I started to get better. And then I started standing on it, and I fell off it. And then I said, "What if I cut it in half? What if I cut it in half? Wow!" And I got a patent, and then started promoting, and it became, it's a big home run. And that basically, the success of that with a passive income, because I licensed it, basically gave me all the time, every single day, all week long, every month, every year, I could do what I wanted. And what I wanted was to study movement training to be the world's foremost authority on the subject of balance measured by locomotion. And so I've been deep diving into this for now more than 25 years, and I've arrived at stuff that's just, it's so far ahead of where we are that a lot of the people where we are having difficulty accepting that their expertise is no longer expert, and you got to level up.
Yes.
And there's an event called the high jump, where the track athlete runs up on an angle and then jumps over the bar backward. And in 1968, up to that point, no one had really done that technique before, because you didn't have a big crash mat. You used to land in sawdust, and that's harder to land on your neck. So in 1968, a guy named Dick Fosbury broke the Olympic record, won the gold medal with this new technique that is biomechanically better. But the problem was the experts didn't like it. So 4 years later, in the next Olympics, the gold medal high jump was a lower jump than Fosbury using the old technique. So if you're really trying to do something big and change the way things are done, like shift the paradigm, it is fraught with delay. Like the glacial pace of the people who are in the position of authority now do not want to relinquish that authority. So when something better comes along, there's a bad part of human nature that'll try to sabotage the better to preserve their position. And in sports, it's too honest for that. Like, I'm doing Fosbury flop, and I don't care what you say, coach. You're not my coach anymore because you're not teaching me what is best. And so my business is now poised for editorial advertisement. It's basically just organic user-generated content because they found it, fell in love with it, and now they post it, which means I have to do a lot less spending money to hit the ball in the air and have awareness of it, right? We live in that super small attention span, and your friend or your family, if they tell you that they like something, you're going to trust them much easier than you're going to trust the sales page, right? 100%. Hey, this does this. Oh, really? Everybody says their stuff does this.
Of course.
That's sort of my story.
I love it. And yeah, you touched that point on, it's just, I see it a lot in the fitness industry, but it's just very hard to unlearn things. And
yes, yeah, absolutely. And especially the trainer has paid for an education. Exactly. The education was faulty and flawed.
Exactly.
But they don't know better, and there's not there's not a recall on your certification. They should mail out a letter that says, "Everett, you got certified. Well, we taught you the wrong thing. Now here's the right thing." But one of the things that the BOSU ball really, really succeeded on was the visual equity, because it's a half a ball. I know what a ball looks like, but now there's this weird blue half ball. I don't even notice it, but I'm going to see it again. I'm going to see it again. And it was all organic. Men's Health or Men's Journal would have three pictures out of 5 of Lance Armstrong training with a BOSU ball. And we don't know that it's happening until we open the magazine. You talk about free
advertising.
And so there's not a publication in existence that existed 25 years ago that the BOSU ball hasn't been featured in. Playboy magazine one time. You open up the page and it's this Russian, Playboy model on 25, 30 BOSU balls.
Oh, wow.
I mean, okay, yeah, I'll take it. People seeing it. And so what happened was, it just had this sort of visual equity that by the time you get to Target and you go down that aisle, oh yeah, that thing. And now you'll spend $100 for this large pizza box, and what does it do? Without that story and without the constant reminder that you're not even aware of, it's there, right? It makes an imprint so that the next time when you do bring conscious attention to it, there's a reservoir of familiarity that makes it easier for you to like it, understand it, all those things. And that's what is really responsible for the success of the BOSU ball.
Love it. And yeah, it's also very good for the joints, because I see in the fitness industry that a lot of the people, they don't want to work the joints because you don't see them. They're like weights, but balance helps you with that a lot, and it helps you to keep being fit, because then you're not gonna get as much injuries or not get an injury.
Yep. That's a big part of it. And a lot of injuries happen down at the foot and ankle and knee. So if you can fortify the foot to be capable of supporting your body even when it's doing that, now that gives you a lot what I'll call bandwidth, that when you're interacting with the ground, you're able to now do better when it's not perfect, and you're better able to do it perfect. So you get a win-win, injury prevention and enhanced performance when you fortify the feet, ankles, and knees.
Correct. You see knees, everybody, it's getting injuries on their knees. So
I know, and right now, the athletes, because they've been training on this idea that you have to squeeze your spine stiff to move, it's not correct, but that's the scientific narrative. So it's just a bunch of confusion and misinformation, which makes the truth very threatening, because I don't want that to be true, because then I'm not correct. And
correct.
That's what happens. And unfortunately, when you're in business, having influential people in the industry that you're in talk bad about your product, which is what happened. The scientists, the people writing the certifications, said that BOSU balls make healthy athletes weaker, so you need a stable surface where you squeeze yourself stiff to try to move. And so it's wrong. And the non-contact injuries, athletes are falling down they need surgery, and nobody touched them. Nothing happened. It's just they collapsed.
Yep.
Correct. And now they need surgery. And it's what is happening? What is happening? You got to examine all the factors. And one of the factors you should examine is how are you training? What are you doing for exercise? Because, we can look at the surface you're on. We can look at the frequency and repetitive stress. We can look at the footwear. We can look at your nutrition, how you sleep. But how do you practice moving? How do you train to move better? If you're training to not move better and you think you're training to move better, is an injury more or less likely? And it's more.
It's more, exactly.
It's more.
You see it a lot. No stretching, no balance, no basic movements. Just
Yeah,
hard, hard, hard.
and I would say, once you achieve physical integrity, where literally every step that you take is perfectly balanced, like a tiger, like a bear, like an animal, right?
Yeah.
Because efficiency, like calories used to be scarce and precious, and now calories are as easy as pick up the phone and a person will drop it off at your door,
Yeah.
right? And when calories are precious, you cannot afford to waste energy. You have to be efficient or you don't survive. And I believe that human beings will jump over wherever the bar is, they're going to jump that much higher. So they're not going to jump over it here.
Yeah, correct.
The demands have to be here, and then you'll rise to the occasion. It's not like here and you go way over.
Yeah.
That's how we do things. So if I don't need to move with perfect balance because I have a 7-hour, run, jog, walk to go catch my food and then walk it back 7 hours, it's 25 miles or whatever it is, and now you got to carry it home. Like, that's so different. And now the people back then didn't even have to think about it because the tongue that you speak in is osmotically absorbed with mirror neurons, positive, negative reinforcement. You learn how to say mama and everybody smiles. You learn how to say dada, everybody smiles. So you remember, okay, mama makes them smile. Dada makes them smile, right? So you put it together and then you speak. But if you were raised in China, then you're going to osmotically understand Chinese and how to speak. And so you didn't study it. It's like you were alive and you were experiencing life, and that rubbed off on you. So if everybody around you moves with this just silky, smooth, predatorial, like I'm going to eat tonight, successful balance, well, then a lot of other problems in life become a lot easier to deal with because you're not fighting against yourself and you're not losing a fight to gravity. You're winning the fight with the ground with gravity, not against gravity. You got to go with the gravity, and it's your skeleton that has to support you, and it's all the other tissues in your body that have nerves and sensitivity that guides the orchestration of moving your skeleton, because it's the skeleton that's strong. If you have 105-degree fever, you're still strong in your bones.
Yeah.
You've got weakness everywhere else, but your bones are just as strong as they were when it was 98.6. So by understanding that, they say, carry water, carry sticks. Okay, and after enlightenment, you still got to carry the water and carry the sticks. And if the water is your blood and your lymph and your fluids, and the sticks are your bones, you put the burden on the bones, the sticks, to carry the water. And that means you're enlightened because you're not stumbling through life, not doing it well. You're doing it on your terms. Your back doesn't hurt, and you're happier. Like, it's all upside. It's 100% upside when you can control the movements of your body so that you shift weight well. It's so easy, so simple.
Yes. That's something that I've been actually learning more because my back hurt. So now I am starting to do more of this kind of exercises, and it's like going back a little bit to the basics. And
yes, exactly.
Exactly, and it has helped a lot, and I know that now I have to include this type of training always, because if my back is hurting at this point, of course, if I don't do that, it's gonna get worse over time.
Right, yeah, life gets harder when you get older. The best exercise for integrating everything and making yourself the most coordinated and perfectly balanced is rope flow. It's not jumping through the rope, it's swinging the rope around you with these figure eights and these spirals. Everything is 100% integrated. There's a lot of brain that's devoted to the sense and control of the hands. And it's a huge part because your hands are so smart and you can teach them to do almost anything, right? So when you get good with the movement of the hands as they relate to the body, and the rope teaches it to you and proves that you can. Because if the rope is true, so are you. And then you get muscle memory. You put the rope down, and you have the muscle memory that's perfect. And it's figure eights makes you feel great. Figure eight makes you feel great because a figure eight is smooth and you never have to stop. It's fluid. It's balanced. It's when it's clunky and awkward and stiff that you don't have balance, and that's going to lead to pain.
Correct. You mentioned that you had some back issues when you were younger. How is that improved over time?
It's basically, from chronic pain for more than a year.
Oh no.
Not knowing how to solve the problem. To my back is so strong it doesn't hurt, and I actually injured it doing something foolish, aggressive physical, because I get carried away. And what happened was I landed very awkward, and I tried to put as much force into it as I could, and I felt my rib sort of pop a little. And then my back was hurting bad. Like I was like, oh my gosh, like if I drop something, I don't know if I can get it kind of pain. But I'm better now. So, a week of, and this was an injury where I bruised,
it was an injury.
I bruised the vertebrae with this stupid thing.
Wow.
But because I move so well, I'm not afraid that, I'm hurt. Oh no, I'm hurt. How can I move perfectly so the hurt hurts the least? And when I'm moving perfectly, I'm going to heal in a very clean way. The tissues are going to lay down perfect because the forces are perfect. And my back doesn't hurt right now. And, that would have been something where I would have been held up for months because I wouldn't know how to fix it.
And a lot of people don't.
No, most people don't, and your personal trainer misinformed you and told you to do the wrong thing. That it's insanity.
I get it.
I like the Bible. I like David and Goliath. I like it a lot, and I think little fitness can slay big pharma, big sugar, big all these evil forces that are poisoning us literally.
100%.
Right.
It's so
literally,
sad.
And I think little fitness can come in, make people feel confident at the deepest level. Not fake confident because I'm fighting against myself. I don't even know the frustration that I'm putting into myself, the restriction. I start thinking less kind. I start thinking less creatively because I'm stuck and I don't even know. I got a slow leak in the tire because I'm strong at being clunky and not fluid. And all we do is flip the script to you're going to practice perfect fluidity. If you want to get better at perfect fluidity, aim correctly and you shall hit the target. Aim off target, and if you hit what you're aiming at, you don't get a bullseye. So it's so sensible. And then what I'm really excited about is I'm getting into footwear.
Oh wow!
And
okay.
I'm starting with insoles. And it's a patented pitch that is perfect for helping uplift the soles of your feet and help prevent the premature collapse that is the number one problem.
Interesting.
The number one problem is people walk with their head in the middle and their feet start to cave in too early.
Okay.
Your knee has to travel, so your toes are here, and your knee has to travel to right here, and then you can go to the inside super safe. But if I'm here and I go inside, all sorts of problems happen. So it's a sequencing problem. And the insoles, the patented pitch angle of those insoles, gives you a little ramp up on this diagonal that encourages you to cycle through gait better. Okay. And so you're teaching the nervous system from wearing these insoles. When you take off the shoes, you actually have better biomechanics because you've been practicing better biomechanics all day long, and you didn't have to do anything. It's just underneath your feet.
Right.
So the promise that I can make to a customer is like, look, what are you going to do more of than steps today? You might breathe more times.
Right.
You might blink more times, but if you're up and walking, you will take more steps than breaths, and you take more steps than blinks. So you have a massive opportunity to tear down the walls between your workout and your life. Why should I be focused on moving better with the personal trainer who's teaching me to move worse for 1 hour, right? 1 hour, and then I go back to whatever I was doing. And I bifurcated my life. Like, I'm going to drive over here. I'm going to change my clothes. I'm going to do this for an hour.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a shower and then put on my work clothes. And I'm done with exercise.
Yeah, so true.
Your entire life had a continuity of exercise so that you were just doing things so smooth that you actually like moving your body. You don't dislike moving your body. And the difference is profound. Mm-hmm. If it's a chore to exercise, that means by February you're no longer using the gym membership that you bought on New Year's Day because you were going to do it this year. Mm-hmm. But if you hate it and it doesn't make you feel better, well, what are the odds you're going to keep doing it,
exactly.
Right? So this is a massive opportunity to make the world a way better place and succeed in business. And then what you do is once you have that, now you can target your ad dollars to have a more effective campaign. We have some products that they sell better organically, meaning we can make money. We can make money if it's organic, and if we spend money, it doesn't increase the volume of the sales. So our best strategy is don't spend any money, and we spend money. We spend money on the products where the money spent makes the sales grow more. So it makes sense to spend money, right? But if it's just going to do this on its own and I do this and it doesn't change, well, then that's a product that we don't advertise.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what's going to happen is that my work will be recognized that my work is actually here. It's 10 fingers underneath everybody else's work. So you need me to do you better. And that's just what it is now. And so it gives me this sustainability, awareness, and trust in the marketplace that product that doesn't do better with ads will naturally do better organic, and that will give us the opportunity to put money at it to make it go higher, because now you have an audience that's smarter. The consumer has enough education, social proof that, oh, we're doing this now.
Correct.
Right? And that's what this is. Things cycle, and this is cool, and then that is cool, and then this is cool, and that is cool. And my thing is foundation, so it's always cool. Only in the beginning, when you are fighting the corruption, is it not cool,
right?
Because you have
the old
interested parties, making sure people see it as not good.
Because it's beneficial for them. They're going to benefit somehow, money or whatever it is.
They're not going to be able to. They won't be able to charge you money to educate you if they don't educate you. And right now they're not educating you properly. So that means that their business model has to change. They have to change the product, right? The product and service is not, it's actually has a negative utility. Because I'm instructing personal trainers to do things that make people move worse and get stronger at it. Is like do no harm is the Hippocratic oath that doctors and personal trainers should really, write it on your mirror when you wake up.
On your forehead. Totally. It's like Blockbuster. They didn't change. Do you know that they didn't change, and then they went bankrupt?
There's a podcast called Business Wars, and they have all these incredible stories, and that's one of the stories. Red Bull has an amazing story. Coca-Cola, New Coke, Pepsi. Like there's all these iconic
brands.
battles in business, and they give you the whole sort of story of it. And it's fascinating, especially as a business owner, entrepreneur, to see what other people did. And the Red Bull story is so extraordinary because he did a focus group early on, and the people tasting it, because it was brand new and different, they sipped it and went like, I don't like it. And then the next question is, would you pay $4 for that? versus $1 for a Coca-Cola. They're like $1 for a Coca-Cola.
Exactly.
And the people conducting this market research said to the guy at Red Bull, they're like, look, man, we don't think you've got something here. You know, it failed in the price. The poor people, the middle people, and the rich, and nobody likes it. And it costs 4 times more. And he said to the marketing people, he said, I am going to teach the consumers to love my product. And where he got liftoff was in England, in London, the night scene. You can party longer if you put caffeine and taurine in your vodka. Right? Yeah. And so it became this avant-garde cool things, the movie stars and the people are all drinking Red Bull and vodka. And that put it on the map, and then it became extreme sports. Like, I mean,
exactly.
It's amazing. And you cannot go to a gas station.
Oh, yeah.
They don't sell a Red Bull.
No way. Of course.
They'll sell a Marlboro cigarette. They'll sell a Red Bull. They'll sell anything that's bad for you. They will sell it.
Exactly. I like Red Bull. I don't drink it all the time, of course, but I like it.
So yeah, my problem is like for me, I've never done the drugs. So like I've always just been too afraid to even try. But a Red Bull, like I sip a Red Bull and I like it. I feel my eyes can focus better.
Yes,
and I'm like, and then I pull over at the next gas station. I'm still full from the last, and I get 2 more Red Bulls.
That's funny. You feel it. I use it for emergencies, like whenever I'm too tired and it helps.
Yeah, break class in case of emergency.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, David, could you explain us what the Weck method is?
Yeah, so WeckMethod is basically, if we look at the logo right here, so this is gravity. That's where we are, and it's what we time everything on, is that force. And the key to mastering that force is understanding that the shoulders and the rotation, if I can rotate and spiral, I have a continuity in my body, and when I can differentiate and create this position that sweeps to this position, think about throwing, right? Think about hitting. Think about locomotion. It's always this spinal rotation where the shoulders are dipping and rising like that, because that's rotation, and this is just twisting. So if I just do this, I'm not strong and it'll hurt my spine. But if I do this, that doesn't hurt, and it actually feeds and nutrifies the spine, because blood vessels don't go to the spinal discs and the spine. It's more about the mechanical pressure that squeezes the bad out, the waste, and then lets the new stuff soak in. So healthy movement is the healthiest thing that you can do for your body. And I heard this last week from a guy, his name is Juji Mufu, a guy named John Call, and he's this internet sensation. He's a monster. He looks like a He-Man doll, but he can do backflips.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this guy, and what he said was, exercise and movement is the king, nutrition is the queen, and together they are the kingdom. And his argument was that if you ate perfect food and lay in bed all day long, you would be worse off than if you exercised and ate Doritos.
Okay, yeah.
Correct? And I think he's right, because movement is life.
Yeah.
So the key is to move better and then eat better, right?
Yeah.
So you get the double. But the movement part, you could argue that the movement part is more important. And that's
if
crazy.
You have to pick one, pick that one.
If you have a sweet tooth, well, do a few more sets in the gym.
Correct.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, and how did your personal journey and challenges shape the mind behind this method, apart from maybe the issues with the back?
Yeah, well, I would say that I've struggled with mental health.
Okay.
And I've had breaks where, like, I'm not here anymore. I'm off in the universe, and then I needed family, friends, doctor, bring me back to this reality. So I think what happened was I used my imagination a lot, and I've made some profound discoveries that unless you're fully aware of the power, the internal power of these discoveries, it can be interpreted as something that takes you, it's so exciting and exhilarating that it draws you away from this reality.
Okay.
And so that has definitely factored in for me, because I don't know, it's a double-edged sword, right? You can cook with fire, but you can also get burned with fire.
Yeah.
And I cooked with fire, but I got burned with fire. And I think getting burned with fire may have helped me, go just that extra little bit to be like, oh, now I know. Like, I know biomechanics inside and out. And if you disagree with me, you're wrong. It's just that simple.
I love it.
No, and it is literally that simple. Go back to if you don't agree with me, go back to the drawing board, and if you can't figure it out, come back. I'll tell you.
This is how sure an expert should be. I love it.
Well, I know, because, like, I know in the same sense I know that if I drop that, that falls. Drops. I know how to move I know how to hold the right levers and make the right cues that you move your body from here to there faster. And that is the ultimate proof, because it's click, click. That's science. That's objective. Science. Usain Bolt is the fastest sprinter ever, but we can't say who the best boxer is ever because we'll disagree.
Right.
And there is no objective measure that says Muhammad Ali's better than Floyd Mayweather and Floyd Mayweather better than Muhammad Ali. So they'll never reconcile that disagreement. And they'll both feel justified. But if we measure the locomotion, the other side, fight, flight, fight, flight. The last thing we want to do is freeze, and that's what the personal trainers today, the certified ones, they teach you to freeze, and they don't teach you to fight or flight. So you miss out on opportunities, and threats overwhelm you. Oh, yay, hooray. And it's changing. And it's the tenacity and the stick-to-itiveness, because people are not going to, like, a lot of obstacles will be placed in your way, both natural and unnatural, agenda and no agenda. So you have to have a tenacity that if you know in the cells of your body that you are correct, you must never quit.
Agreed.
And if you find out that you're not 100% in the right, well, then you have no choice but to shift, log the loss on where you were wrong, and learn to be right. And again, sports and athletics, it's competitive enough that they're not going to listen to the coach if the coach is not teaching them what the other coach is teaching them over there.
Of course.
We've literally had parents come up to our coaches in a facility. It's a baseball training facility, and this kid just took 0.2 of a second off his 60-yard dash. And we've literally had fathers walk across the gym because his kid's training with that guy over there, and he comes up to our guy. He's like, how do I get my son training with you?
Oh, wow.
Because if you care about your kid, which you do, you're paying $100 an hour to have somebody train them so you don't have to pay for the kid's college or whatever your strategy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you're a parent who's serious, and if you start to witness, like, oh, that kid just made progress that my son didn't make. Like, I need my son to get that, right?
Of course.
And that's where the marketplace will ultimately edify my work and basically just wash away the dysfunctional nonsense that's been the norm and the narrative for 18 years.
Yeah, you just slowly but surely show those results and people will follow.
And it's one of those things where I live in San Diego at Sunset Cliffs. It's as far west as you can go in America, at that particular latitude. It's the end of Highway 8. If you take Highway 8, the spiral, right, the infinity, and you take that as far as you can go, take you right to San Diego, right to the water's edge at 117 longitude. And so basically, if you don't begin with the end in mind, now you're going to waste a lot of effort doing things without a clear intention of where you want to go. right? So in San Diego, that cliff, it doesn't wear away a quarter of an inch every year. It goes many, many years where it looks the same. Mm-hmm. And then a big storm comes in and it wipes it out and it's gone. Or it's here and the water wore away this until it did that. That's the critical mass of Fosbury high jump. Like, no one did it. One guy did it. Mm-hmm. Not enough did it. And then everybody did it.
Exactly.
And it's that everybody did it that my work will land on everybody does it. Uh-huh. And I will bang a drum so everybody understands the name associated with the benefit, the value. Mm-hmm. And that gives me unlimited potential. And I have a business model that I won't share right now because I don't want Jeff Bezos to know my plan. Because my plan will defeat Bezos.
All right.
I could deliver more products with a lot less cost than Jeff Bezos.
He does, because Amazon charges so much for everything.
Oh, I mean, they are
crazy.
Amazon is like, they're bigger than everybody.
Yeah.
If you're selling retail goods, Amazon's the biggest, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So the key to success is success. And losing and learning is a success. Losing and not learning is a failure. Yep. So you need to succeed and build on success, right? And you cannot be okay with losing. And so you have to reconcile that the loss has to result in a lesson that helps me win. Otherwise, I lost. But if I lose and I learn how to win, well, guess what? I succeeded. Exactly. And so it's that mindset of success. You have to succeed. You have, it's cold and you need to build a fire. And if you don't succeed, you don't go home. Oh, really? Well, I'm going to try harder.
Exactly. Find the good out of it. Find it. Always.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have a T-shirt that says "Relax, work harder."
Okay.
Relax, work harder, because the only way I can sleep at night is if I dotted the I's and crossed the T's in the daytime to lead to a better tomorrow. If I don't accomplish that, I won't sleep as well.
Okay, good. And that's
so
how
the harder I work, the better I can relax.
You've earned it, but make sure you earn it.
You learn it, and that's how you earn it.
Exactly.
And you don't want to burn it.
Love it. David, what is a common misconception that people have about balance and functional fitness?
People think of balance as this, like, when you say balance to someone, the first impression is sort of somebody doing like this.
Right.
Like, balance means struggling with balance for most people. Right?
Correct. Yeah.
Balance is much more a factor of the sequencing and the continuity of things. That's the true balance. And so you don't want to practice a lot of this because that's actually not balance. That's compensation to find balance or try to maintain it. But what you do is you just pattern the perfect positions so your body becomes extremely familiar with being perfect on one leg. And now your nervous system understands, like, if I'm on this leg and I need to go to that leg, you need to be there when you get there so that you're landing in perfect balance. I can't land and then get my balance. I have to do the stuff in the air with my body to land perfect.
Correct.
And so that's what you want to practice, and that is balance. Balance is only, you have the opportunity to go to the next position is balance. Because nothing without change works forever. I could have perfect balance and not be able to shift to the next one, and now I'm useless with perfect balance because I can't shift the perfect balance, right? And so the industry's just been operating on the incorrect paradigm for locomotion. They said the spine has to be stiff and let the hips and shoulders do it. And I'm saying, no, it's the spine that assists everything. Everything assists the spine. And I'm right and they're wrong. So, I mean, it just is what it is.
Well, it's built like that for a reason. It moves for a reason. Like,
yeah, well, if you think about, like, okay, if you're going to build upon what has come before, then you can understand that a dog skeleton and a human skeleton is remarkably similar in its structure. It's just arranged a little differently in different proportions, but they have the same bones as we do. And you can call them the same things, right? They have a femur, they got a tibia, they got a fibula, they got phalanges, right? All those things. And if you go back, like, all right, where did it start? Started in the ocean. All right, what do you got to do in the ocean? You don't have any gravitational demands because you have buoyancy. So all you have to do is go side to side in the ocean. And a shark can basically go side to side. And a dolphin, the mammal, once you get into gravity in the atmosphere, well, now this won't work. You have to figure eight to work now. So now, with the burden of gravity, it's a three-dimensional figure eight that is the rotation that helps a four-legged creature move. And all we did was create the most potential, vertical potential, that we're the most efficient terrestrial locomotors on the planet. Pathetic little human beings, we're the best. And I never saw any other animal jump the Grand Canyon on a motorcycle doing 6 flips. Like, I think we're pretty special. Yeah. Like, our coordination is better than anyone's. I think I never saw someone play Star Spangled Banner on guitar. A bear, a lion, a tiger. I've never seen any of them do it. A monkey, right? Yeah. So we can move perfectly. We just can't do it as fast or as strong as a lot of the other animals. Right. But our ancestors did it just as perfect as a tiger because they had to. And now we restore that. And now you're going to get the confidence that you can't fake and the confidence that you cannot buy. And that is presence, that is root, that is resonance. That as long as nothing's attacking me, I'm fine. Right? I'm not the guy who's like, okay, I need to flex my muscles because I'm so not confident, but I'm going to be confident. Look, oh, damn it, I'm confident. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're strong, but you're not confident.
Right. So you can't move. They move like rabbits.
There's nothing better than a little skinny guy beating up a muscle man.
Yes, and I see videos of that all the time, and it's very cool.
Yeah, it's amazing when some little skinny guy goes, pap! Oh. Now, if the skinny guy can build muscles, and the muscles aren't restrictive, well, then he's better. So stronger is better, but skinny strong is better than strong not coordinated.
Yes. Get those guys to a Pilates class or something like that. They can't.
Yeah, right. Just body awareness. Just body awareness.
Exactly. Okay, in regards to the BOSU, marketing a product worldwide and scaling it is very hard. What were the biggest challenges that you faced, and how did you overcome them? The
timing of when I launched the BOSU ball was the right time. So the stability ball was at the crest of its popularity. It's a large inflatable ball. So that was at its crest in popularity. So the BOSU ball derivative of it had an on-ramp to the industry where it was accepted quickly in the professional community. And then we just serviced that community. We spent, say, $300,000 in marketing / advertising to be at all the trade shows. So we didn't do ads, we didn't take out ads, we didn't do anything. We advertised at industry trade shows, 25 of them in a year, whatever, a lot of them. And we got the professionals conversant with it, so the professional now uses it with their client. And that's how it gets used every day. So one BOSU ball in the gym gets used by 100 people, 50 people, 20 people, whatever it is. So when the consumer buys a fitness product, they stop using it within 3 or 4 months, and then they don't tell a friend, and nobody sees the Bowflex in your basement because there's too many clothes hanging on it. Like that's what happens.
Yeah.
It is. It's if you look at metrics and numbers, that's what happens. So if you sell an infomercial product, you'll sell a lot of them while you can on TV, but because no gyms bought it, no one will ever see it when you stop advertising. Mm-hmm. So you're going to, the suckers, right, the people who buy it and don't use it because they're eating ice cream at 1 a.m. and they're going to order this because this is going to solve it, and it doesn't. Yeah. That product goes into a vortex and no one ever knows that they bought it. But when a BOSU ball is at a gym and I'm training at the gym, I'm using it every day, my odds of buying it go way up.
Yeah, okay.
Because I could train with the trainer for 4 years. And then, I got to move. I'm moving to Montana. There's not even a gym close by. Your trainer's like, all right, that's all right. You get some dumbbells, get you a BOSU ball, we'll get you this, we'll get you that, and, I'll send you your program. That person just bought a BOSU ball because they used it every, 3 times a week, 4 years.
Correct. Now they need it.
It became a thing that you do.
Exactly.
Right? And so that's what keeps it relevant, is that it succeeds in the commercial marketplace. That's the key, because that's what exists and sustains. It's like you're at the stadium and they're hitting the ball up and the ball goes and someone hits it up again. Someone hits it up again. And usually it costs a lot of money to hit the ball up because that's advertising and, marketing expenses. But when your sales become your marketing, because now it's out in the marketplace getting awareness long after the sale, that's advertising and marketing. That is organic.
Right. And I learned about it like that, and they use it a lot at the classes. So that's how I started using it. And they teach you how to use it in a lot of different ways as well.
It's just a very useful piece of equipment that has certain properties that nothing else has that provide advantage for training.
Correct.
Okay, that's all it is. A hammer is amazing at hammering in nails, and it's not great for washing windows. So don't wash a window with a hammer.
Exactly.
But don't tell me that hammers suck. Like, you're the fraud if you tell me hammers suck because they break the window. Like, all right, well, you have an agenda. You just don't like hammers. You're not telling the truth.
Exactly. But that's also what's so cool about it. You can do so many exercises with it. It's not just one single thing.
I was just doing an exercise on it earlier, and it's an exercise that's just better with a BOSU ball. Okay. And I get better results, so I'm going to spend my time and energy doing the stuff that gives me the greatest return. And it's pretty simple. Yeah. And so it's really a lack of knowledge for most people that they just don't know the combination to the lock and they can't open the fence. I mean, it's just that easy.
It is. Just with one thing.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, now let's talk a little bit about digital marketing. So in your business, what kind of digital marketing have you done and what kind you haven't done yet?
I have a team that does all that, so I don't work directly in it, so I don't know the super specifics, granular. But we have a guy who's our marketing guy. He used to work in-house here, and then when COVID happened, he works remotely. But we've been working with him for years, and so his responsibility is to, reach out to influencers, and we'll pay you $300 to do a post or something like that. Advertising, okay, RMT Club's selling really well in golf right now. Let's put some more dollars to golf. Let's make another golf ad. So that's how we do it. And cost per acquisition is what it's called in terms of, let's say you're selling something for $100 and it costs you $30 to get it, right? That means there's $70 a margin if you were to sell it yourself. If it's a distributor, it's less margin because they have to make margin. Correct. But the cost per acquisition is the unknown variable that will it will eat into the margin. So the key is how much can it eat into the margin? And if you have to spend $110 to get $100, well, that's a bad business move. So getting the cost per acquisition down is the number one objective in advertising. Like, you want an advertisement with a long tail. That's why they had jingles. Barry Manilow wrote, "I am stuck on Band-Aid brand because Band-Aid stuck on me." I mean, who doesn't? You know what I mean? Like, you got to be a little older to know it. But once you know the jingle, you'll never forget it. And then you're at CVS and I got a cut. Well, what am I going to buy? I'm going to buy a Band-Aid, even if it's not a Band-Aid brand Band-Aid. Yeah. If I get a Markel tissue, that's a Kleenex. That is a Kleenex.
It's always a Kleenex, yeah.
So, Markel, in that sense, is advertising facial tissues, right? And the Kleenex is the big brand. Mm-hmm. And so as the market grows, as long as Kleenex can keep their share of a growing market, they can do better with knockoffs than they could without. Uh-huh. And if you have anything of value, meaning anything that can make money, it will be knocked off. Okay, you will have people 100%. Saying, "Hey, that guy's making money. I want to go make money. I'm going to copy what he's doing, so I can make money." Yeah. Like, that's just the way the game is played, right? So you always have to stay on your toes because the market changes, right? And so what worked yesterday might not work today in terms of selling things, right? And we've seen that now. I mean, it's the social media is practically the only avenue where you spend money these days. It's where people are.
It's where people are all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the classified ads in your, daily newspaper on your driveway, I don't think you're going to do as well with those as you used to.
You used to. That's funny.
When I was a kid, that's all there was.
Yeah, that's all there was. Okay, and from, I know that you're not very into it, but from like a little bit of what you know, do you think that for digital marketing you've done better like with influencers or with maybe like spending directly on the platforms like Facebook ads or Google ads or something like that?
Yeah, I think what happens is you occasionally hit a viral, and the personal stuff is more likely to hit a viral than company stuff. Like, people want to follow people more than they want to follow a brand. There's more trust in a person than there is in a brand. So I think the influencers have the driving social proof, and some influencers work with us. What we do is if you're the right influencer, we'll build a website for you that's full Shopify'd up with all our products, and they never touch the product. So all you have to do is post and get a sale, and you collect money, and then we split money. So you never had to spend $1 to make $1. Right. All you have to do is use your iPhone, a minute or two, upload it. If you can sell, well, then you make a lot of money because those people make a distributor margin. They don't make an affiliate margin.
Okay.
So point of sale is the value, right? That's why Dick's Sporting Goods is just a bunch of stores within a store. So if you're Nike, you're paying for the back wall of sneakers, and you're paying for that big island that is Nike branded sweatshirts. And if you're Crocs, well, you're buying the center aisle for that little display of your Crocs. And if you're in fitness, well, then you're TRX, and you buy the shelf. So if you pay to place your product in the store, and there are different spots in the store that sell better than other spots.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and that's the game that is played. And retail is just every square foot costs the same. So how much does this square foot make? How much does that square foot make? And if you want to know what business they're in, look at what's in the store. Dick's is an apparel company. They sell clothes and sneakers. Then in the fishing lure in the back of the store, that's put way back there. That product that costs $4 that the guy is coming in to get, that thing sat on the shelf for 8 months, right? It's not a money maker. That fishing lure. That fishing lure it has to be there. Otherwise, the guy's not going to get run through the Carhartt gauntlet because at his fishing tackle and he sees like, an orange,
everything.
And he's like, I want that.
Exactly.
Right? And that's if you look at the square footage of Dick's, it's a clothing store. The entire set of the store, the entire 80% of the store is clothes.
And they always put the last collection at the beginning.
Right. And then when you get in the checkout line and you're there buying a baseball glove for your kid, the Big League Chew and the whatever sour gummies, those are all at 12-year-old height in the line that you're waiting in, so that you got a couple bags of candy, because it's a science of retail. It's a science. They're going to present options to you everywhere, and if they're good, you're going to buy more stuff.
Exactly. Exactly. And you guys build the websites for the influencers because it's easier to track that way for everybody, right?
Yeah. Well, what it is a lot of these people are not. They didn't go into it to become a millionaire. They went into it because they love it, and you can make a decent amount of money. Just the hard part is creating leverage, right? You can fill your schedule and make $100 an hour and make $900 a day, but now 2 clients are on vacation. This other one's injured. That one moved away. Well, now I only have 5 clients, and I cut my income almost in half. And when I'm asleep, I'm not making money. So, that's the challenge in fitness, is to do it when you're 50, and when you're 25, it's easy to make $100 an hour.
Yeah.
Because you're not paying for college yet.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And so these influencers, basically what we're doing is some of them don't even have an e-commerce strategy.
They don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, we're like, look, here is a plug and play website. Here's all our products. It's already Shopify collective, so if they press, they can order. And you can upload other products that you want to sell. So if this website's working with our products, well, tell that guy that you want to sell his product on your website. Do the Shopify collective and put their product on your website. And so what happens is for every 10 people that you do it with, you get 3 winners and 1 superstar. And then 7 won't really do anything.
But you have to try them.
Well, if you didn't lose on 7, you wouldn't win on 3.
Exactly.
And the win on 3 has to just negate the loss on 7.
Exactly. You have
to
take a
that happens. We're still doing it, so it's happening.
And you're gonna keep doing it as long as that's how you discover the gems.
The way that you know if advertisements are working is you keep on seeing the advertisement.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, people stop advertising when the ads don't work anymore. And in the beginning is the hardest time because nobody knows nothing, and it costs money to send the smoke signal that people go see.
Exactly. And you have to be patient at the beginning, which a lot of people don't are.
Well, right, and it's hard to be patient if you have bills to pay that you can't pay.
It is.
And your 4th credit card maxed out, like, oh geez, like it better rain soon.
Exactly. And what do you think it's been the biggest challenge for you guys related to digital marketing?
The constant rule changes, the constant
100%.
little things. It's just, they used to be able to, when Zuckerberg was breaking the law, you could say, like, all right, I want red-haired people between the ages of 30 and 30 and a half. They need to have a Volkswagen Jetta. Yeah. And then Facebook would serve you, okay, this is the person that has this.
It was so good.
And now they're not allowed to abuse your privacy quite as much. So now you have to say, like, all right, I need 30 to 50. Yeah. What else? Okay, so you can't granular market as well. And then if you're selling products, the costs are always going up, and the consumer behavior is like $99 is a lot better than $109. Just psychologically. Exactly. So, it's a battle, and the only way you can win is you either have to have a very high margin or you have to have a lot of volume, and there's no in between. So, the margin gets eroded. And, when shipping goes up 3 times, then it costs you 3 times. You know what I mean? So there's always challenges. You got 5,000 new products in, and they're all defective. Like like
oh my God,
like
my
that,
heart.
that's happened to us.
Oh God.
You have this thing, and you're like, oh my God, none of them work. Like, oh my God, this is horrible.
Horrible.
And now, if you're dealing with a manufacturer who's respectable, they'll, it's their mistake.
Right.
They have to fix it. But still, you spend all this money to go to launch. You're launching it. You put your ads out, and now you can't ship them a product. It's like,
Yes, I feel you right there. And trust me, it's not just hard for the client, but of course for us, the people doing the marketing. Oh my God,
Yeah.
you have to relearn all the time. And of course, you were bringing great results with all of this super great tracking. And now that you cannot track so much, it's just been also very hard for us too.
Right, but and just even knowing what's working.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember when I was a kid, I was down in Florida at my grandparents. I was talking to someone. He was in the magazine business. And basically, if you're in the magazine business, you're just selling ad placement, and then you fill in the rest with content. But there's a certain amount of real estate in those pages that you got to fill enough inches with ads, otherwise you don't make money, right? And what he would do, this guy would do, he was selling something via magazines, is what he did. And so he was always playing the game of use this code, right, to get this special, and every single code was unique so that he knew which ads were working and which ones weren't. Because, you advertise 10 places and you make all this money, and then you don't know which one worked.
Yeah.
You could go 9 more times and fail until you got to the one that worked.
That's why tracking is so important.
Yeah, I mean, and then just the funnel. When do you send the follow-up email? What does it say? All the logistics of dotting the I's and crossing the T's in that world. And it's harder now.
It's the whole world.
There's more options. And consumer behavior is this. You're on Instagram, you see an ad, you learn more, you go to the thing, you scroll and you see, and if you're interested, well, then you log out of that, and then you go to Amazon, and you type it in Amazon.
Right.
And you say, do they even sell it here? And if they do, it's free shipping, okay. Now, and then you buy it on Amazon, and then you return it because, I was just crazy then. Like, I can't afford that. And so now consumers are conditioned to buy things that they don't want in case they do, with the knowledge that I'll just return it.
Terrible, right?
And I don't want you to buy my stuff if you're going to return my stuff.
100%. I don't do that. I don't like people that do that. I don't get it.
No, Amazon has conditioned the consumer to expect free shipping and free returns.
Right.
That's why they go to Amazon.
And they always defend them because I have clients on Amazon too, and sometimes they will always believe the client even if the client is lying.
Oh yeah, of course.
So,
Amazon's dirty little secret is they literally throw brand new products, truckloads of brand new products. They just put them in the landfill because the cost to ship it over to here, to figure out what it is, and then re-inventory it, and there's the box is scratched, and it costs more money to keep that sewing machine in the mix than it does to just throw that one out and just make another one.
Oh wow, that's
and Amazon that. And that's like one of those undercover, the video Amazon doesn't want you to see. And it's this, undercover reporter being like, you see that truck dumping all this stuff? Those are all brand new products that people return from Amazon.
Jesus.
Because it boils down to making money. And so as a business person, you cannot afford to do things that don't make money.
Of course.
And if receiving a product and then shipping it there and storing it here and doing that there, if that adds more than the sale price can cover, well, then you ditch it. It's an anchor dragging your business down. I mean, so the point is, it's very difficult. And what we're doing is we've created a whole library section of our site that's about to launch where we have digital products. And what we're doing there is we're inviting in influencers who have great stuff. We believe it's the best in class.
Mm-hmm.
And then we collaborate and we produce a video for them that now you're selling zeros and ones, which is the best thing in the world to sell because the incremental cost per acquisition is zero.
Of course, nothing like courses and software and all
of course,
that.
yes. But the problem is the market has changed for that too.
Mm-hmm.
So it used to be that personal trainers would pay for content and education, and now you go to YouTube, you can get it all for free.
Mm-hmm.
So people don't sign up for those courses as much, but there's always room for the cream that rises to the top because that's what people like. And if they don't want the glass of milk, they're still going to want the cream.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're the best, now you survive the thin times.
Exactly.
When people aren't buying, right, they're going to buy less, but they're only going to buy the things that provide more value. And if you're in that category, then, you know, the depression doesn't hurt you as bad.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people who got rich in the Depression. There's a lot of people who got rich during World War II. COVID. If you manufactured propellers or springs or whatever, cotter pins for propellers in World War II, you still have millions of dollars today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Exactly.
Because there was a high demand for that product and you could sell it for a lot.
For as much as you want.
I think the government spent, what, $700,000 on a toilet seat, like way back when?
Oh my
God. It's just, you know, it's fraud, it's waste, and it's abuse.
Yeah.
Because nobody's, you know, tending the cookie jar, so they just take cookies out.
Uh-huh. They have all the control to take as much cookies as they want.
It's
terrible.
I think that we have a shot now to change things
mm-hmm.
and to end the vile corruption.
I agree.
Because how does Mitch McConnell have more than $100 million on a $250,000 salary? He's a fraud. He's a cheat. Nancy Pelosi, Mitch McConnell. There's 532 of them. How many are shysters? More than half.
And it's more than normal. That, like, we can do something to this point, but it sucks that like it took so long and it takes so long to be able to change this kind of stuff.
Yeah. I think you know, I'm an optimist because life is better when you're an optimist.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want life as a pessimist. That would suck.
Yeah.
And I do believe there's great hope. And I believe that my work is pivotal to it because I don't think we're going to be able to trust anything that is happening in 2 dimensions on a screen. Mm-hmm. It can be AI and you will not be able to tell the difference. So you can trust nothing except your own personal sensations. You can trust those. Those are real. And so when human beings have the composure, right, that there's no haste, there's no waste, it's just perfect, everything else gets better. Your mindset is improved, like polar opposite from failure to success, because there's nothing holding you back now. And you have confidence, and confidence is the sexiest thing that exists.
It is.
As a man who has money, if you're confident, you're sexy.
Yeah, totally. That's how a lot of girls say, this guy has something. I don't know what it is. It's that.
Yeah, right. It's that it factor.
Exactly.
You don't know why, but that person's, you just, like, they're magnetic.
Exactly. David, this has been fantastic. Where can people know more about you and your company?
So we have WeckMethod.com, WECK method.com. We have the Weck Methods on the socials, and then we have the THE David Weck on Instagram and X is where I hang out.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.